In this video, we'll take a look at our unit on adding and subtracting fractions across one whole. Fractions and mixed numbers with like denominators or the same size parts can be added and subtracted. That's what we're trying to get students to understand in this unit. They begin the first week learning that fractions can be combined to make more than one whole, and that an amount greater than one whole can also be separated into fractional amounts. They begin like they always do with models only. This one shows the number line in which the students look at the two add-ins and create the sum at the bottom. They work with multiple models and they work with different formats. So here you see a vertical format with the equal sign over here on this side of the equation. Students then are introduced to numbers where sometimes they're linked to the models as they put the number in the model is created. Sometimes they create the models and the numbers. And finally, they move into numbers only, without any model support. In this first week, students also work with estimating expressions. So you'll see here, I have 4/5 plus 2/5. So I know the value must be greater than a whole. I'm just estimating whether the values are greater or less than one whole. And I also work with subtraction. And I work on models only and moving to numbers with different models and formats. And then I take subtraction expressions and I compare those to one whole and see if they're greater or less than. In the second week, students then take that understanding and work with improper fractions. And they start again with models only, they move to models and numbers, and then numbers only as they progress through those initial lessons. They also work on estimating where expressions with improper fractions are to the closest whole. Are they greater or less than one whole or two wholes? And they compare expressions to whole numbers. In the third week, they move on to mixed numbers, following the same format. We have models, then models to numbers, then numbers only with the different formats as far as we go vertical and horizontal with the equation. Students in that third week learn to convert improper fractions to mixed numbers using first models and then moving to numbers. And they take that understanding to go here and use it when they're adding mixed numbers. First, they put the answer in as an improper fraction, and then they move to putting it in as a mixed number. So that first value, the fractional part was improper, now they're going to create the second whole. So they will have 2 1/4 for their answer. And finally, they work with numbers only. In the fourth week, they take that understanding to apply that knowledge. They learn that addition and subtraction with fractions, mixed numbers, improper fractions can be used to solve a variety of problems. In this example, this shape here represents a value of 6/3 or 2 wholes. Students complete the model by dragging in colored shapes, and then they write the fractional value. So they write the fraction, the part related to the whole. In this case, this whole actually represents the number 2, or a value of 2 wholes. They also work with finding unknowns in equations. Like our other units, this unit also has tool investigations. In this one, students apply their knowledge to work with context. They're given a story problem, they label the models, create the models, write the equation, and solve the problem. By the end, they're creating their own story problems. And we have a real-world investigation. In this unit, students work with Ricardo, who's creating trail mix. He wants to make different bags of 1 cup amounts of trail mix. He has a certain amount over here of items that he can create his 1 cup trail mixes. There's one particular answer. Students learn the heuristic of completing the problem. And like our other real-world investigations, these are 3-tiered. So in the second tier, students decide certain amounts that are going to go in each of the bags. And by the third tier, students take the understanding they've learned by the lessons in this unit, and they now plan out a trail mix that they could use when their family goes on a hike, so that each person has a mix that's slightly different.